2SRL Season 8 is over. Sigh of relief as 2SRL Season 8 is over.
Hello and welcome back to Tier 3 at 2SO. Today I'm joined by Adam, who is currently munching on ice cream, so he'll be commentating very soon. Today,
I'm back.
You done with it? Okay.
I'm done with it. I actually finished it while I was in the studio because it was a nice chocolate brownie. I had to have a quick warm up before we started, but
yes,
the Bahrain desert heat has kind of melted it already.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in Bahrain today. Tilda in chat says rain, but I don't know if that'll happen. We can't see exactly what happens. So maybe there's rain forecasted for the race, but we'll have to see. So coming off Australia, I think Jozo was the winner, and I'm excited to see what he can do today. I'm also kind of excited to see what Owen and Danny can produce, because Danny came P3 last time after having a pretty good start. So he can maybe do something similar today. Although Owen, who we were sort of hyping up quite a lot because he was the runner-up for last season, he had a bit of a few mishaps during the race. So I think today he might be able to prove himself why he was the runner-up last season and might be able to challenge for that P1 spot again.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I was going to say, because we've actually got the standings here from Australia, if I quickly just get them up. As you can see, Jozzo is in the lead of the championship, but then Ace Boyot finished in P2, and then Owen, the runner-up from last season, obviously finished P4. But I was just saying, because obviously I'm still learning the drivers' names at the minute and getting used to them in the tier, but obviously Jozzo was the guy who was set the benchmark last week with that. Well, I was going to say alien qualifying time, pretty much like Hugo's, but of the tier 3 at the moment from the look of it, but there's still 90 more rounds to go, so there's a long way to go. But
yeah,
there was a lot of impressive drivers as well last week, like Ocean Chief not picking up any penalties and jumping up to P6 in the standings. But if we go off the driver standings, we take a look at the constructors, Alfa Romeo. Actually, and Williams both on equal points at the minute on 28, and Haas are in second on 21. But we'll see how the drivers do today, because there's a lot that can happen, and this track is a bit of a weird one, but we'll see how they do, as we have got the first few drivers starting their out laps right now, and before they start their first flying laps.
Yeah, I drove Bahrain the other day just to sort of get a feel for the track, see what it would be like to drive, and after about 3 laps I rage quit it. So good luck to all the drivers out there. I did not enjoy it at all, but then again, I'm not the fastest driver in this game, so can't really take my word for it. But yeah, people have been complaining. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, like, I am of the same opinion of you. I do not like this track one bit. However, I've got to race it on Friday as well, so might as well see what everyone does tonight and pick up any tips. But we'll see as actually Owen comes around to complete his first lap now, and let's see what he does. The pole. Oh, he doesn't. He actually dives into the pits, and well, that was a quick end to that lap. But yeah, we'll see. But we'll see how Jozzo does now, because Jozzo is actually about to start his lap, and let's actually go with an on board with him up into turn 1, and let's see how he does. So shifting down into second gear, breaking up the 100 metre ball, coming through turns 2 and 3, shifting up to third, 4th on the exit at turn 3, coming up to the first DRS zone. He activates his DRS, coming up to turn 4. Now let's see where he breaks at the 100 metre ball just before the curb, going down to 4th, quickly pushing up to 4th, taking that wide line coming into turns 5 and 6, shifts down to 5th, might go down to 4th, but keeps it on there gently on the throttle, takes a lot of curb over turn 7 now, coming into the hairpin of turn 8 now, getting on the throttle really quickly, shifting up to 3rd now. That is very nice. He didn't get any wheel spin, but now coming up to turns 9 and 10, the most difficult one, where a lot of people are locking up, gets a little bit away from the curb, but gets a very nice exit. Goes up to 4th, all the way up to 8th now, coming down towards turn 11. Let's see how he does, because this is key. If he can take most of the curb on the inside of turn 11, he should be alright, but that is a very nice turn by him. But also, I didn't actually see, I forgot to put on the lap times by a few people, but we were starting to have them in, as Jozzo actually is going to set a time, because he didn't invalidate through them, as we see Blindevin to go top with a 125.7. Jozzo now coming up to turns 14 and 15 as we see him cross the line. I think this is going to be about a 125 now as he comes up to the line. Jozzo with 125.5, I'm going to say, oh no, 125.666.
Okay.
I think he's had a bit of a call with Satan there, because he's definitely got his... No, he hasn't got his number. I thought he had 666.
665.
Literally almost on point, but there you go, Jozzo.
Our maths is just as good this time round as last time.
Oh, don't worry, my maths has been on point for the last 2 weeks. I've done enough CFD simulations to work out what maths can do.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, it's one to be questioned at another point, but I think we'll see how it is today. But one thing is, though, Jozzo isn't going to be as far out in front as he is last week at the minute, because he's actually got Blindeving and Ace Boy on his tail at the minute, and I don't think Owen will be too far off as well, because he's still yet to settle up, but we'll see how he does.
Yeah, the top 4 are very closely matched already. We still have 11 minutes to go, and I feel like a lot of people will improve their lap times. So this is not by any means the final standings coming into the race. However, Owen, as last time around in Australia, I think he invalidated his lap. his quality laps and went into a pit, and he did the same thing this time around. So he might be struggling a bit with qualifying performance this season. Hopefully, he can sort that out as quickly as possible and get a good position to start the race. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a few of these guys today will be looking to take advantage of the qualifying. The thing is, the strategy is a massive call in Bahrain because you can either do medium to hard or soft to hard. You can do soft to medium, but the problem is it's very uncertain if you can get to the end. If you've got a very tyre friendly setup, then you can definitely get to the end on the soft to the medium. But a few of these drivers obviously might not have that advantage to get them to the end of the race, but we'll see. But soft to hard is pretty much the preferred strategy of everyone, but at the moment I don't see anyone else not qualifying on the soft, so it will be interesting to see if some of them even go through a 2-stop, but that's highly unlikely because you just have time on.
I think that the strat will be to go for a 1-stop, unless a safety car happens, which can happen. It's very likely.
I was gonna say we did this last week. It was like there's no safety car. Then on like the final 5 laps, we finally got one. And I know it did spice up the race a little bit, but if you curse one now, we get one on lap 1, and then I'm putting the whole blame on you for literally getting that safety car at the time. And
yeah, I mean, I don't believe in commentators' curse, but yeah, sure.
Well, we don't believe in commentators' curse. We was doing a few predictions in SLR, and Timo and Tero have got a bet, and it's going to be if that someone's going to at least jinx them, or all of the tiers are going to at least be jinxed, and we don't want to fall into that same bracket, hopefully. So I'm hoping for. I'm not going to make any jinxes so far because I've kind of learned my lessons from last season.
Oh, Owen retires.
I think he's crashed. Coming out of turn 10 because he's parked one side of the track from the look of it, but we're not going to see. What's happened is we see one of the Mercedes going very widely off track. He's not moving at all, but let's see if we can actually see what's happened to him. But that's a massive surprise.
Yeah, that's Owen says he hit. I go into the wall at 1 mile per hour in reverse, and my wheel comes off in chat.
Yeah.
I
can literally you can just see him in the background there. His car's gone, so God knows what's happened to him. But that's really going to shake things up now. So if Owen's got to really hope for a safety car at this point if he's actually going to get anything out of this race. But many stranger things have happened in Bahrain. But
I think he's going for a last to first challenge. Wouldn't be the first time he's done something on those lines. But again, qualifying woes continuing. So it wasn't this race he broke that. Hopefully next time around. Unlucky. I just want to quickly shout out to chat. Thank you for being active. Thank you for coming and watching. And Zombie Kebab has said this track is still hard to overtake, even with a runway for a main straight, which I kind of agree with. Although I feel like this track really punishes people for mistakes. So if someone ahead of me makes a mistake, it's quite easy to get past them.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the DRS train because I was actually in a practice lobby with Kebab, Ocean Chief, and Snella Henke yesterday, and it was the DRS train. Ocean Chief was looking very good yesterday to say something, so it'll be interesting to see how he does, because if he can convert that pace, then I think he's going to be a very good contender for some massive points here tonight. But we'll see how the Haas boys do. But we do have Danny on a lap now, the first of the top 5. Now coming up to turns 9 and 10, let's see how he does, if he's going to improve his lap or he's going to have to wait a few minutes. He's coming up into the second DRS zone now, and we think we do have Blindervind on lap as well, but Blindervind's about to come up to the end of sector 1, and let's see if he's actually going to be able to jump Jozzo on his run, because Jozzo is actually still in the pit, so I think Jozzo must be going for 2 runs in total. But actually Blindervind is 7/10 up on his current lap time, so he's going to be able to actually make up some ground at the minute as Jozzo leaves the pits. But let's see what Owen can do, as Owen's 2/10 up on his lap. Let's see as he comes down.
Danny?
Yeah, Danny, sorry. I'm going to get the chat up in a second, but Danny comes across the line now to actually go into P1. So Danny beating...
That's a really good performance.
Indeed, you are. He's actually put a really good performance. He goes ahead of Jozzo but still you need to be out there to set the lap. But let's see how Blindervind does. Blindervind's coming through turns 12 and 13 now, and he's not invalidated. He's 1/10 up on his time, so he will go on provisional pole at the minute. It takes a lot of the curb at turn 13, but it doesn't give him enough for an invalidation, so he's just about going to be held on. Let's see as he comes up to turns 14 and 15 now. Breaks at the 100-metre board now, and gets a little bit understeer, but keeps it very nice and tight into turn 15 now. Kicks the DRS zone now, comes up to the finish line. Is this going to be pole? And yes, it is. 1:25.5. Nice time by Blindevin, but the guys at the top are so close together. You couldn't really split them at the minute, but however, we do have Ace Boy coming up to the finish line now. Will he be the second person to steal pole away? He's actually got a delta that says he will, and he goes first. And there we go. Ace Boy goes on pole.
As I don't think that's a lead driver who's just joined the lobby. Oh well. So Owen in chat says he slid off track, was stopped, and the ball glitched into him. And he's put a FOV into the tier 3 chat. I'm just gonna quickly have a look.
Okay.
And that is exactly what happened. What? Okay. So his force feedback turned off while it was turning. He taps the wall with his front wing, and then his car bounces up and down, and the wheel breaks off. So this is just Codemasters making a brilliant game, and very unlucky for Owen.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You got to feel for him a little bit.
I was going to say that actually sounds a bit like Codemasters, but I can't say anything because I actually did have a nice chat with Dan Hawkins, who deals with F1 in chat a few weeks ago, so I can't say much, but it was really good. As Omleto goes up to P5, no, he's actually starting a lap now, so Omleto, no, he's not, he's actually backing off, but we do have. Jozzo went back into the pits. So, I don't know what's going on there. Williams must be planning an alternate strategy, or he wants a fresher set of tyres, so he's not going to come back out from the look of it till the final few laps, but let's see how he does. But we've got Fropsy now on a lap, and, well, if he can start doing well, then let's see what he can do as well. He's coming up now to Sector 1 to take up turn 3. He is going to be up on his time. He'll be looking to try and close the gap. That's about 5/10 to Ace Boy and Blindevind. He's already 1/10 up, so he's got a lot of time in the tank, I think, to try and make up as he comes through turns turn 8 now, gets on the throttle very nicely, goes at third, up to fourth. Now let's see how he tackles turn 10. If he can keep this very nicely, if he can get this turn right, then that's a good turn. Keeps him very nicely on the curb, close to the curb, and hits the DRS zone now, coming up to turns 11 and 14. So he is going to be in for a good shout here if he can get these right. Keeps very close to the curb, but it's actually a very nice sight to actually see cars coming through turns 12 and 13. But he's doing a nice job so far as he comes up now to Sector 2. What's his delta light going to be like? He's almost 3/10 up, so he'll be moving up into the top row, and he goes very wide but doesn't invalidate. Looks like a few guys are getting let off there with their invalidation, so they are going to be just about alright. I think he comes around the final turn now. Let's see where this puts him up in terms of the grid position. I think this is going to put him onto the second row, and let's see if it does. He goes, no, well, he doesn't. He does improve, but he doesn't change position at all. So Foxy stays P6.
Yeah, that just shows how close this tier is. So the top 6 all separated with 0.3 of a second. The rest of the grid a little bit further down, but it's very competitive. At least okay, top 7 now actually. Yeah. Omleto just goes into P6,
and Max goes into P4. Both of them just went up at the same time. So let's see. However, the race winner from last week is actually now on a lap. So let's see what he can do. And he is 1/10 up at the moment. So he will be jumping up the order now into P1, but let's see how he can string his sectors around coming through turns 8, 9 and 10. He needs to get turn 10 right, like a lot of other drivers have so far, and I think he does get it spot on very nicely onto the curb, but now coming down to the second DRS straight. But Jalzo, I think he's going to be feeling a bit of the pressure, but I think he's just going to have enough pace to see off Blindevind and Danny for pole today. So I think Jalzo's going to probably take a 1:25.2, and then we might see Blindevind a lot closer than there was last week to him, but I think Jozzo is going to be the guy to beat again this week.
Yeah, I raced a little bit with Linda Finkia in last season, and he was always at the top. A bit inconsistent during the race, but he was always at the top, at least in qualifying. I think he won maybe 1 or 2 races last season, so he's definitely not someone to get discounted. I do hope to... as Fropsy retires, and Jozzo goes P1.
Yeah, he does, and that was a very nice lap by Jozzo. So he's, I think that's actually going to be his only lap. He's going to be able to do, because he hasn't got enough time to actually set another one. So it'll be now down to Blindevind, Danny, and Owen. Danny's actually 2 tenths down, so unless he's going for another lap after this, then I doubt he's actually going to be the one to beat. But there's going to be chance for Blindevind as Ace Boy retires as well. So Ace Boy, he's not going to get pole position, but Jozzo's lead has been a bit squished in comparison to last week, so he's going to be looking out. But let's have a look what Blindevind can do when he's actually come around to his lap. But I don't think Danny's going to have enough of an improvement to climb up, and I think he's going to stay in 4th position.
Yeah, Blindevind is just finishing his outlap, so he would be the only person to be able to challenge Joseph for that P1 position right now, I believe. Although Omleto's also on an outlap, so who knows? He might be able to pull out 4 tenths somewhere. The rest of the grids, they're all out on track, all trying to fight for the positions into the top 10. And I think Tilda just goes into the top 10 with a 26.5.
Yeah, he does that, and that was actually a very nice lap for him. But anyway, we've got Blindevind and Max and Omleto all on that laps. Can these guys actually beat Joseph for pole position, as Blindevind now starts his flying lap for the final time? And let's see what he does as he comes up to turn 1. Will he be able to actually get ahead of Jozzo on track and on pole position? He needs to be up by at least 1 tenth coming through the first sector, or just in general, to see if he can do that. Let's see what he does. As he's got the DRS wide open, he is going to be just said it too soon. He's equaled his time pretty much, so he needs to get these sectors together and see if he can actually get ahead of him. But this is going to be a tough ask. Max is on his outlap, and I don't think Max is actually not going to beat him. So it's pretty much all down to Blindevind now. Can he beat Ace Jozzo for pole, and can he actually get onto the second row of the grid ahead of Ace? And he gets a bit twitchy out of turn 5, so he's not going to be able to do that, and that's going to be costly to him. But he's coming through now to sector 2, and let's see what he can do. As he comes up through turns 12 and 13, keeps power on the throttle. He's 2 tenths down. I think that's not going to be enough for him to even move up the grid, and I think that's pretty much going to be Joseph Spoil. However, Omleto is actually 1 tenth up, so can Omleto actually make some ground on Max and Danny in P4 and P5? He's coming into turns 9 and 10 now, but he's the only driver on track, I think, who can actually do anything, unless Tide and Trevor Linden and Tide are both coming into the pit. So it's pretty much now Omleto is the only person on track who looks like they can improve. And
Blindevind didn't improve, so he stays P3.
Yeah, he lost a bit. He just messed up out of turn 10, so he didn't get the run he needed. And Omleto's actually equal to his sector 2 time. He's and he invalidates, and that concludes qualifying. Jozzo on pole, Ace Boy in second, Blindevind in third, and Danny in P4. Max Omleto on the 3rd row in P5 and P6. Fropsy and Rizu in 7 and 8 on the 4th row, and then Dom and Tide in P9 and P10. I keep getting that wrong. I know. I keep Dominon. Is it Dominon?
Dominon, yeah, Dominon.
That's Dominon in P9 and P10. But yeah.
Oh, so Triton has just joined in chat, and he asked what happened to Owen. Owen, he spun the car and very, very slowly tapped the front wall with his wing. Nothing happened. 2 seconds later, his car was shaking and the wheel broke off. Yeah. So I think it was more Codemasters barriers being funny. So very unlucky for Owen. He's been unlucky the whole of last season, and it seems like he's carried that over to this season. You got to feel for him.
Yeah, pretty much you've got to feel for him, because he was looking really good last week. He did finish P4 obviously, but tonight it's been pretty much the technical gremlins that have gone. I'm just going to check if that Blindevind now. Yes, it has. Blindevind and just got Blindevind the second mistake on the grid ahead of Ace, and he gets a bit twitchy out of. It's working, so I'm very Blindevind. We'll actually have the replay function for the race right then. I was going to say, we don't have any rain in Bahrain. Even though it's got rain in the title, but it never does rain. Actually, no, it's got rain. I don't know. That's quite a terrible pun. So I'm not gonna. But yeah, I'll show myself to the door sometime soon. But I can't remember what it was. I think F1 was actually doing a test here. I can't remember who it was. And there was actually some rain coming in for one of the practice sessions at the Shakira and Bahrain Grand Prix, and that was very weird that they've actually got. I've never known it actually, to rain in Bahrain. However, let's see what we can expect from the formation lap, and I think we are just going to see a few of these drivers warm up their tyres and just hopefully don't get caught in that DRS train. I think it's going to be in the first 3 laps. It's just going to be whether they can make their tyres last through the first stage of this race, because getting to about lap 10 is going to be what's going to get these guys to the end. However, the hards can go to the end pretty much.
Yeah, and the predictive strategy was a 2-stopper, but I don't think these guys are going to opt to do that, because I know all of them prefer a 1-stop strategy. But you don't know, safety car might come out, and soft mediums might be the best choice.
Yeah, soft medium does work. However, it's extremely risky. You can get the pace from it, but towards the end of the race, because Nabor pointed this out yesterday, the hard tyres do pretty much infinite in this race. If you put them on early and then you don't get another safety car, like lap 6 or 7, then you're going to be in dreamland. But if you get that like the safety car, then it's pretty much, if you're on the mediums, you're going to have a great chance to win it by just changing onto the softs.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what the strat is, but I think the soft hard one is definitely the attractive one, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we're just going to see like everyone in the top 10, Jozzo, Ace Boy, Blindevind, Danny, Max, be the ones who do that softer hard, or if we might see one of them change it. But if we've got a very strong field, and it's going to be, let's see what happens. But
yeah,
surprisingly,
I think everyone outside the top 10 has opted for medium tires, I think.
Yeah, actually, I should actually get that tyres on the screen, because I didn't show it on the screen. Yeah, you're right. Everyone outside the top 10 has actually opted for the medium tyre, as I'm just riding on board with Ocean Chief. Potentially pick up a few more points today, I think. From how he did last week, he didn't pick up any penalties, but this track, it's not hard. You can still pick up penalties, but it's a lot harder. You mainly pick them up through turns 11 and 12. So let's see as the cars line up for the grid for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix. And I'm actually going to give you the start lights this week.
Okay.
It's
the first time I would have done that, but okay, let's try it.
I was going to say it's called the. I was going to say it's not Hand of Faith. It's just let's see. Just do it right now, shop.
Yeah. So we have 5 red lights, and they go out, but the F1 glitch happens, so the cars will be moving any second now, and off they go. And I think Jozzo gets a very good start, so does Fropsy. Fropsy gets... Oh, and there's been a big crash with Max and Fropsy in the background, already spun out. And I think Owen managed to get through that, actually, and as that happens, Ace Boys gets past Jozzo. Blindevinke stays P3, but is getting challenged by Danny. Danny has to slot in behind Jozzo and Blindevinke. Blindevinke gets a great exit and is now past Jozzo.
Oh, we got caught from the background. Ferrari virtual safety car.
Yeah, and there's a safety car, and that is a lot like the real race.
Oh god, I've got
right.
2 moments, so I'm just gonna actually throw that replay up really quickly.
Out,
Firstly,
but the
we got,
F1 glitch happened, so
just to start
the
there,
we
had
off they go.
Jozzo get
and
a very nice start.
Jozzo gets a very good start, so does Fropsy. Fropsy gets... Oh, and there's been a
clouded
big crash with
and
Max
comes
and
across
Fropsy in
and
the
gets
background,
hit by
already
Fropsy.
spun out, but
And
the
then a
F1
few
glitch
turns
happened,
later,
so
we get
the cars will be moving in.
that Ferrari of Turbo Dudley go flying off the track, and he couldn't do anything whatsoever, and that was like the 2020 start, although obviously Roman Grosjean is okay, but it was kind of a mirror image to that. A car just comes out of nowhere and into the barrier.
That was a bit of PTSD there. Just you see a car flying off in the background. Yeah, so that's Turbo Dudley. I don't know exactly what happened there. Probably most likely would have been a contact of some sort. Oh, as Jozzo hits Blindevinke on the safety car.
Oh, the safety
car.
It's ended now. So has he picked up any wing damage? No, he hasn't, thankfully.
anyways, we are racing again. It seems like the marshals are very quick.
We got a three-way fight at the back between Tide, Gurla, and Dominon as Gurla gets ahead of that fight on the medium tyres. Gurla with a very great start on the mediums. He's actually put himself into a very nice position in P7 as we see the Dominon dive into the pits with wing damage, but Tide coming back at Gurla now for P7 and P8. So Gurla and Tide both trying to get with each other. As you see Gurla just losing out to Tide, but Gurla not giving this position up coming through turns 8. Tide doing very well to hold on to him. They're both going wheel to wheel up into turn 4, and Gurla just holds that position from Tide. Great racing by both of them as Tide tries to come back, but he doesn't have it, so he's going to have to wait. But however, Gurla's going to have a bit of a train behind him, but he has done a very nice start on the mediums to put himself actually up into that position. So Gurla is going to be looking to advance on that as we see Owen. Actually, Owen's up to P10 already, and Owen gets a bit of contact with Schofield up into P9, but Owen actually up from the last position on the grid as he turns into turn 10.
Huge dive from Owen.
Very nice move by Owen, and he does get the move done, and he is going to be trying to catch up to Tide now, but Owen, great start by him, up 10 positions from his, well, as you put it, they're forced to be back in qualifying.
Yeah, so I think the grid's sort of spreading out a bit now already. Owen, as you said earlier, great start, and Ocean Chief, I believe, has had a pretty good start as well, as he started P15 or something. I don't know exactly, somewhere around that. But
P16, I think.
He's definitely made up a few places. And Greaser, we haven't really talked about him, but he's up to P5.
Yeah, you are right. He has actually gained, and sorry to interrupt you on that. I think Tide might be having to go with Gurla again, but he doesn't have DRS. He's going to try and he's having a look. He's going to not pull out, so he's just going to hold position for now. And he's actually got the number 14 and kind of the same in helmet, inspired by Fernando Alonso. But however, Owen looks like he's going to have a go, but DRS just helped Tide out massively, and he just holds position for now. Owen going up the inside regardless, and Owen and Tide has just kept the position by going out wide and holds the position now. As we see the Alpha Tauri Schofield in the background almost going to Owen's back tyre, but he doesn't. But this pack from P7 is very, very close together at the minute. We might see a few changes in a minute.
Owen looking very racy, and he has to watch out trying to make these moves, because as we saw earlier, Schofield took the opportunity, went side by side. As actually Tilda goes really wide, Owen might be able to get an opportunity here to overtake. He's got DRS, but again, DRS train. I don't think he will be able to do anything here.
No, I think he's just gonna. These guys are just gonna have to be a little bit patient to get their move done, because Gurla is the one at the head of this train. He's 4.5 seconds off on Leto, but he needs to get that advantage. But I think Owen's definitely gonna be the one to profit from this, because I don't think Tide's tyres are gonna last that long. But what we do say is the tide has turned once again, even though that has happened. But I think he's actually going to have a go at Gurla now. So Tide is just holding on yet again. This is a very close battle on track, and I think Tide is going to get past Gurla now as he moves to the right, as we see Danny and Jozzo trade positions as well. So I'm just going to change that as they go side by side through turn 3, and Danny goes around the outside of Jozzo. As we see in the background, Tide does get past Gurla for P7, but Danny is holding off. But it
and always spun. He spun.
Who has
So
Owen? Owen's. Oh, that is absolutely. I can just see him in the background, and Owen has spun. Oh, that is really good for him. He made a brilliant start, and all that work has gone to waste, and that is so unfortunate for him. When will Owen actually catch a break? Oh, it's just good for him.
Yeah, he's been unlucky before, and this is definitely one of those races where he's unlucky. And I think he's got a good mindset to get back into the race, but I know he will be fuming in that cockpit right now.
Yeah, I didn't see. Did he make contact with anyone, or did he just?
No,
drop?
I think he just dropped it because Bahrain apparently has not much grip. So it was turn 3 on the exit of turn 3. He sort of just dropped it into the gravel.
Oh, that is unlucky for him, because yeah, I know what you mean. If you go across turn 3 and turn 4, you can unsell the car, and the car can just jackknife at any point. So it is a pretty interesting one to see, but we do actually have a pretty big battle for P3 at the minute, and we have a massive train, but we do see McLaren Lad and Kurz taking moves. Kurz has made a mistake and gone, well, spun out of turn 13, so another guy who's losing the back end. Everyone seems to be dropping it at the minute, but hopefully. But at the minute up front, Jozzo is starting to mount a bit more pressure on Danny, but Danny looks like he's just going to be holding the position for now. And I don't think we're going to see any moves because everyone's about 4/10 at the minute, so the DRS trains are starting to kick in, but
Yeah.
we'll see them probably in a few minutes when the softs start to burn off. But the one thing that is clear to see is that now that tide's passed. Oh, Johnson spins! Johnson spins and he doesn't crash!
How is this car not broken?
I have no
What?
clue. How?
What?
I have no clue. Well, speechless.
Okay.
My God.
I mean, damage is reduced in tier 3, but that he full on
My
hit that with
God.
the side of his. Okay.
F1,
Wow.
F1 Codemasters, can you please explain that? And just gonna throw that up again because he comes out of turn. Oh, Johnson spins! Johnson spins into the race, and he doesn't crash. I
How
don't
is this
know.
car not broken?
Codemasters, please give us a ring because I don't know how to describe that. But he's got heavy wing damage, and that's gonna put him out of the race pretty much. Well, not put him out of the race. He's gonna have to hope for a safety car, but. How is he still in the race? That Williams is built like a tank.
Yeah. Okay. He's going to the pits, so he probably has quite a lot of front wing damage. So that's definitely taking his chances of getting a podium basically to nothing. Huge accident, but as you said, still somehow in the race.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really wish.
Quickly,
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Owen is getting past Kurz on the straight, so he's trying to make up for the spin he had earlier. He's P12.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely trying to gain back the positions he's lost. So comeback drive already from Owen.
He is.
Yeah.
He is going.
Oh, as Trevor Linden has spun. So Trevor Linden is off track. People are spinning all over the place, and he's picked up a penalty.
I was going to say, but that is
Right.
both racing points spinning already, and one was just on board with Ace Boy. Blindervin's actually dropped a second behind him, and I don't know how that's happened, but that means now Blindervin is going to probably come under a little bit of pressure from Ace. Well, Blindervin's going to come under a little bit of pressure from Danny, but he's still 7 seconds back. But yeah, that was a massive crash by Trevor Linden, but he didn't pick up any damage. I'm just gonna reset myself for a second because he didn't crash, he just spun. It doesn't seem like the maths ability's lost this week. It seems like the grammar's gone out the window as usual. But
Yeah, this is tier 3 at his peak, boy.
right, tier 3 vibing as it always should be. But saying this, Schofield is actually on the back of Ocean Chief now for PA, and he's got DRS. He's going to have a nice run up into turn 1. He's going to pull out to the side of Ocean Chief, or is he? Yeah, he's going to go down the inside of Ocean Chief. Oh, that is going to be side by side into turn 1, and Ocean Chief just holds off the line and keeps it coming up to turn 3. Schofield might have another chance coming up into turn 4, but Ocean Chief defends the inside line, and I think Schofield's going to have to stay on the outside, or he's going to cut back now up onto the inside, but he chooses to stay on the outside, coming up now to turn 5, and well, he's just going to hold back there as we see Schofield stay behind Ocean Chief, but this looks like a fight that could develop, and McLaren lad is also coming on the action for him.
Yeah. So I think the person who's won most from this fight is McLaren lad, because he's right at the back of Schofield now. But this might be a DRS train kind of scenario. But he is pretty close. It'd be nice to see McLaren lad do something, because I think last race he was, I don't know, potential for top 10, but he wasn't really there, and he's already top 10 now. He's a very nice guy. I had a chat with him every now and then in general discussions, and I hope to see him do well now.
Yeah, McLaren lad is a very nice guy, because I've actually because I've met him a few times and I've seen him race last year, and he has got a fair bit of pace. He's been improving a lot of the time, so he's going to be up there, but we'll see how he can do, because he did have a very decent race last week until he had that spin, but at the minute he's staying in P10 as we see Grizu pit, so he's the first of the leading runners to come into the pits and goes into the medium tyre, so that's an interesting call from him. However, we do see Schofield and Ocean Chief now trading positions for P7 as Ocean Chief drops behind Schofield, as Schofield does make the move stick, and behind Owen is climbing back up the field as he's now in P10 and catching up to this train, but we might see now McLaren lad actually overtake Ocean Chief, as see Ocean Chief getting a bit wide, but I think he's just a little bit too far back to make a move at the moment.
Yeah, and Kurz is right behind Owen, but I think as well he's just a bit too far back to make anything of it. But yeah, both of them are catching up to this the battle for 7th. So Owen might, with a little bit of a driving, might be able to muscle his way back up to the position he was in before he had his massive spin.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. He's got 21 laps to go. Obviously, we might have another safety car. You never know, but he is doing very well at the minute. However, at the front, we do have Blindevind and Ace Boy separated by 7 tenths. It'll be the one who blinks first now, and when going into the pit to see who. As Frosty picks up every second time penalties, Blindevind actually now makes a move. Well, Ace Boy was very sleepy there. Blindevind and Ace Boy go side by side. If Ace Boy is going to go into the pits, he's not going to be able to. So they go side by side down the main straight. Blindevind does get past. He does have the DRS, so I don't know what happened to Ace Boy. But Blindevind just managed to take 7 tenths out of him from pretty much absolutely nothing. So as we see him now, just dropping it, well, going ahead. We'll see Ace Boy come back. Yeah. Blindevind gets a bit wide. Ace Boy gets a bit twitchy. Coming up to the second DRS zone. I think he's just going to be a bit too far back. No, he's not. He's actually going to go around the outside. Ace Boy sticking to that outside line. Beautiful racing by these two so far. Blindevind holds on to the position in P4 and gets away. So very nice move by Blindevind to hold on to the position. And that gets him ahead in the pit. So Blindevind, well done for taking the lead, because that was a very, very nice move.
Yeah, some great battling between the two of them, and Owen's right up behind McLaren Lad as well now. And then another thing I wanted to mention, is actually Owen. McLaren Lad goes a little bit wide, so Owen says, thank you, I think I'll try to contend for this. And there's a contact and Owen's off again!
No. Actually, hold it. He's held it. Wow, that was a very good hold. That was on Max Verstappen 2016 Brazil. Well done to Owen. For doing that, we have a yellow flag. Owen, is that Grizu or Owen? I think that's Grizu.
Owen, he sort of just goes. I think he might have had a slight disconnection, and that's really hampered his exit. As he's going all over the place, Grizu's trying to fight for the position, goes off track, and Danny, on the other hand, might get 2 overtakes here. Danny having already pitted on the hard tires, and they go 3 wide into, I don't know what turn that is. Grizu's off
11.
Track.
It's coming up to turn 12 now. It's both of them. Just that Owen stays ahead of them, and Danny comes through past Grizu. Grizu is on the medium tyre, as we said, keeps ahead of them. But this is really Grizu's and Danny's fight, because Owen obviously still needs to pit. But they are battling very hard at the minute, coming up to now the final straight. Owen's going to not have the DRS, as we see Blindevind pit and Ace Boy as Owen tries to go in the pits. However, he does the dummy.
I think he pulls out to let Danny pass, because that is his old teammate, and they're just still really good friends as far as I remember. So, yeah, lets Danny pass, gives him the good luck, and off Danny goes to charge to try and lose as little time as possible with this undercut.
Sorry to interrupt, but Blindevind has come out a very long way ahead of Ace Boy. So I'm not sure what's happened, but Ace Boy has lost a load of time to Blindevind in the pits, and Blindevind now is the net race leader, and Danny's actually gone up into net P2, so I don't know what happened to Ace Boy during the pit stops, but he's lost the lead and a load of time. And he's cutting down in P11, and, well, that's going to be an interesting discussion at the end of the race, because God knows what's happened, but that's not where he wants to be. As you see Danny... Danny.
He's picking off the drivers that he needs to do to try and catch up to Blindevind, and Owen managed to defend from Grease at the same time. Yeah, so good fights going on here.
Yeah, it's very nice fights going on at the minute. We're just about a third of the race through already, and we see like Blindevind getting past McLaren Lad. So Blindevind's doing what he needs to do to stay in the lead of this race. But behind, we do see Grizu and Owen fighting each other. And Owen's just about to hold off on Grizu as he comes to the right to try and get past us. Grizu now riding on board with Owen, but Owen gets that DRS from Trevor Linden, forces him out wide, but I think Grizu was, oh my god, whoa, that was a bit hairy then, but Owen holds onto the position, forcing him out wide, but Grizu keeps the position coming out of turn 3, and he does very well as we see him shift across, and he actually might take Trevor Linden here, and this is going to be critical for Grizu to get past, because if he wants to have any chance of staying in this race, he needs to catch up and stay to the back of Danny. But it looks like Trevor and Owen battling so hard, he's not going to help Grizu one bit, as we see him go try think. Let's go.
Massive dive ball from Grizu, and the Trevor Linden gets pushed off track. I don't think that was exactly clean racing FIA match.
Is that Ocean Chief? Somewhat as Ocean Chief, I think Ocean Chief has spun because he's dropped down the order, and that is a disaster for him, and that's put him out in P7. He was doing such a great job, and he's lost a load of positions at turn 10 because that's what the yellow flag for was in sector 2. So we're having a lot of action at the minute. We're just trying to keep up with it, but yeah. Just going back to that battle with Grizu and Owen, that was very hard from Grizu, and he has got past Trevor Lind now, but it looks like Trevor Lind is actually going to get overtaken now by Ace Boy, so all these battles are starting to happen, as you said.
Yeah. I just want to... Icewind in chat says Blinda hit Ocean Chief, so I don't know how that, if that's true or not, but we'll go with it for now.
Yeah.
And also want to shout out to Bad Panda, who says, my cousin Jozo is in 14th place, I can't believe it. Jozo had a spin early on in the race. He's managed to get up to P11 now. He's, I think, net P5, I think, because he has already been into the pits. So still a long race to go, and I think at the end of the race he will still be in a good position.
Yeah, he just had a moment coming out on the curb that we're on board with Kurz at the moment. So, but it's again, how the hell they built that Williams to be that strong of a car. You see Blindevin trying to get past Schofield to hold the race, going around the outside of turn 10. He's got so much more grip on those tyres. However, he goes really wide, and Schofield takes the position back, and Blindevin gets out on the curb. But all this battling is allowing Danny to catch up, because if you look on board now, Blindevin is in sight, going side by side with Schofield, and Danny is just making his way very slowly through the pack, and I think he's actually got a chance here of catching up to Blindevind. However, McLaren Ladder and Kurz are not making that job very easy for him, because these guys obviously can just go that little bit longer on the medium tyre, but I don't think it's going to do too much to hamper him, as we see Danny getting past McLaren Ladder now before the main straight. But Blindevind is just pulling away a little bit. He's currently about 2 seconds down the road, but there's every chance Danny can still catch up. But Danny doesn't have DRS to McLaren Lad, and the problem is he's just going to be battling hard now. Well, a needless battle for Danny, because McLaren Lad obviously on an alternate strategy, but if he gets a safety car, then that brings him into play. But you can see Danny trying very hard to stay ahead of McLaren Lad. He's desperate to keep ahead of him, gets the DRS into turn 4 and keeps ahead, but Grizu right behind on the medium tyre. I think that's might backfire for him in the long term, because he might be able to make it to the end of the race. He's got a long way to go. He's still got 16 laps, but
also on the medium tyre, who's already got 6 laps on this tyre. So I think he might be going for a 2-stop strategy here, or hoping for a safety car as Grizu gets past McLaren Lad while we're saying that.
Oh, and to see Ace Boy trying around the outside, but he's forced wide. But McLaren Lad defending very hard at the moment to try and retain his positions, and he's fought a valiant battle, but I think his tyres probably are just starting to wear a little bit too much at the moment, and that might be not the end for him, but he's going to probably be peaking soon either way.
Yeah. So Danny is right behind Kurz, Plindevink is right behind Gerler. They both need to clear them as fast as they can. Kurz right behind Schofield here, so there might be a bit of a DRS train and a fight, although it looks like Schofield's going to the pits, and Kurz pulls over and goes, does a little bit of a dummy, but I think that's more just to get the run into turn 1. So Danny P4 and Plindevink P1.
I was going to say, that was a bit of an aggressive defence from Kurz then on Danny. He does keep the position, but it was very aggressive. It looked like he double moved, but Blindevin has got past Gerler now, as you can see it on the screen, but Danny needs to get past then Kurz. He doesn't want to really be battling too hard with him. He does get the move done eventually up into turn 4, but he could have probably just not wasted a bit more time for his own liking, but he's very, very close to Blindevin, and you can clearly see that Danny has got a chance of actually winning this race, so he's just got to hope Blindevind Vinca can, make some mistake or gets caught up in that battle, but Danny's not out of this race just yet.
Yeah, there's only really 2 seconds separating them, and it all comes down to how quickly Danny can clear Gurla and if he can match Blindavincia's pace or catch up to him after that. Anyway, the battle for P5 is kind of hot. Aceboy, Greaser, and Kurz are right behind each other. So they all have been into pits. Greaser on the medium tires, Aceboy and... Oh, sorry. Kurz on the medium tires is yet to pit, sorry. Greaser on the medium tires and Aceboy on the hards. As Kurz pulls over, that is a very bizarre move, actually.
I was just going to say, because he was doing that for a second. I mean, is Kurz going to pit? I don't think he is. He's just going to have to battle. He's actually coming back at Greaser. Wow,
so Aceboy benefits from this as well. Oh, as Aceboy hits Kurz and Greaser gets past because of that, so... Okay.
I'm just going to ride on board with him, but Kurz he's still a Nico Rosberg. He's took up the whole track, but he is entitled to that because he did leave the space. But he's going to have to go battle very hard with Grisou here. Obviously, the battle, he's not really in their race, but he's battling very hard as Grisou gets past, and now that's going to be a bit of a problem for Aceboy, because Aceboy ideally obviously wants to get past Kurz, and he hasn't at the moment as Kurz holds on, but you can see that a gap already is going in Grisou's favour, because Kurz is just holding up, and we do see him going very, very wide. But the problem is he's going to get DRS from Grisou here, and Grisou is going to keep Kurz ahead of him, but he's doing a massive favour as we see Aceboy trying to get the inside, but Kurz is not letting this position go without a fire, and he has done a stupendous job to keep himself in P4 for this long, and well, it'll only be a matter of time before he pits, but I don't think he's going to be out for much longer. But Aceboy now losing already to Grisou, but Grisou obviously, as we see a yellow flag, and that is Max. Let's see what's happened to Max if we can, and Max has spun, and that looks like heavy front wing damage. Looks like he's just lost it coming out of turn 12, but he's going to have to get back on the track, so that's really unfortunate for him. But behind in the battle for P3, Kurz is actually coming back at Grisou now and gets it back. This is just literally like pure vibing. They're literally vibing for P3. And
he's entitled to do so, even though he's on a different strategy. This is just, I think Kurz is just having a lot of fun out here, and Grisou and Aceboy are really, I think, getting frustrated now because they want to get past and try and catch up to the guys ahead.
Yeah, but saying that, the gap between Blindavind and Danny's come down to 1.5 seconds, so that could be something to have a watch for. As I think that's Propsy gone into the gravel, and yeah, he's had a little bit of a spin. Seems like a few people are spinning off there, so they're not. But going back to the battle with Grisou and Kurz, this is a great battle. Grisou trying to go around the outside of Kurz, but Kurz not giving this up without a fight. Grisou goes wide as Max retires from the session, but that's not it. As we see banging wheels, Kurz is driving the wheels off this car at the minute. Those tyres, I don't know. Oh, wing damage!
What is going on? Okay. Okay, so Aceboy picks up 2 positions there. Kurz hits the back of Grisou. Grisou had a really slow run, very unexpectedly slow, so that's why Kurz hits him, which gives him the wing damage. So Grisou and Kurz still fighting as Aceboy gets past and can finally breathe and take a few laps to try and catch up to the top guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, what this has done, this has not helped Grisou whatsoever, because Kurz has his tyres are going to be so gone. There we go. We see Kurz finally pitting without wing damage, but I think Grisou's going to probably have used up a bit more of his tyres than he would have wanted battling with Kurz. So Kurz has definitely done more of a favour to Aceboy at the minute.
Kurz on soft tyres. Interesting strat.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't think he's going to the hard, and so he's definitely going to be hoping for a safety car later in this race, as Propsy gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. However, we do have a very delicious battle going up ahead, and it looks like Schofield and Gurla are getting up very close to each other. These guys are battling as Gurla comes up to the inside and takes P4, thank you. No, P8, thank you very much. I think I'm a bit... too high there, so maybe divide that by 2, then we should be alright. However,
Yeah.
Gerler has got past Schofield, and Owen actually is in the point, so Owen has got a chance to score some decent points here, so he's actually not that far. Ooh, commentator's curse yet again, so don't say anything about Owen anymore, because
Yeah. Owen is behind Schofield, that is all you need to know.
Anyway, moving on. Kurz gets past his teammate for P14 as we see Schofield and Gerler battling yet again. Schofield keeping behind Gerler at the moment, tucking in behind PA. The gaps ahead are starting to filter out, as you can see, because they're actually all above 1.1 second now. But this is the closest battle on track. Owen is in P10, potentially almost going to be in P9. I'm not saying anymore. And Alfa Romeo is coming now up the back straight. It dives up the inside. What a move!
What a move!
Indeed, that was a brilliant move by Owen. Let's see if he can hold it. He's going to have the DRS, obviously. You might take Gerler here. We're going to go 3 wide down the main straight, and Gerler is going to lose out here to 2 positions to both Owen and Schofield. Schofield and Owen both going to battle into turn 1. Schofield with the wide line, but he's going to have the inside line coming up into turn 2. Owen takes the position and does very well. Gerler looks like he's going to come back at Schofield now, and Schofield looks like he's going to be the one that loses out. Gerler needs to just be a bit later on the brakes and come side by side, and Gerler with a very nice move, but however, Schofield's still on the outside line. Keeps the position, very nicely done by Schofield then in that case, and Gerler for that racing.
Hats off to Owen there. That was a brilliant move into the last corner, and then getting the DRS onto Gerler to overtake 2 people in 2 corners. Great racing from him. Really shows how good he is at driving. Now it's just getting rid of the unlucky situations and trying to catch up to the top of the field.
Yeah, he's his composure's getting a bit better. Like I was just watching him a few laps ago when that obviously all went wrong, as we see actually Jozzo dropping down the order. I think no, Jozzo's actually
he's gone into the pit.
Yeah, he's gone into the soft tyre from the medium, so those mediums definitely was not going to the end. So he's gone to the soft tyre, and I think that actually could be a little bit of a threat to this pack ahead, because he needs to actually get, as we see Grezu pit now, so those medium tyres definitely are not going to the end, and it looks like he's going to come out now, but will he come out ahead of this train that Owen's at the head of? He's just about getting to the end of the pit lane now, right on board with them to see where he comes out, and Grezu actually does come out behind Owen and comes out just ahead of Jozu, but now it looks like he will come out just behind Gerler. I thought he was going to come out ahead, but he's gone to the medium tyre, so very interesting from Grezu here. He doesn't think the softs can get to the end, so he's not going to risk it, but we have battles all over the field at the minute.
I think Grezu put on the medium tires because he probably knew he was going to start fighting, so the mediums would be a better choice if you're fighting a lot, as they have a bit better tire degradation. As Kurz picks up a 3-second time penalty, he's just been in the pits, so that's not optimal for him because he is just outside the points and could potentially have been in the points, and that time penalty might ruin his points chances come the end of the race.
He's got ahead of Ocean Chief then, but yeah, I think the thing is though, only 2 people have picked up penalties so far. That's actually quite impressive. But ahead, again, we do have more battles going on all over the place. As I see Jozu getting now past Gerler up into turn 11 and does a very, very nice job, and is coming up now to try and, I think, battle Grezu. So it'll be interesting to see if that medium tyre or that soft tyre is going to be the one to go on. But Grezu, as you can see, getting past Schofield for P7 and does a very, very nice job. But we will see Jozzo now trying to go off the track to try and get past Schofield, and Jozzo obviously doesn't want to wait around here to battle him, but Schofield gets a bit of a clip and loses out, and now that's going to put him back into the fight with Gerler, so he's not going to be, as we see Jozzo setting the fastest lap. Owen just ahead of them about, but these 2 guys are going to be locking horns for a pretty good battle, I would say. But as we'll see Grezu just get a bit twitchy out of that turn, but we'll see now Jozzo overtake Grezu into turn 4. He's going to go side by side. He's going to have the inside line. Grezu just leads ahead, gets the better traction out of that turn, and we see Gerler and Schofield trading places, but Jozzo is doing a great job to do that and takes a lot of the curb out of turn 6, but he is doing very well so far.
Yeah, Owen right now, all he's hoping for is that Grezu and Jozzo battle out as much as they can, because they're both on fresher, newer tires have better pace than both of them as they're catching up to him quite quickly, even though they're fighting. So Owen's going to be in trouble very soon, I think.
Mic on, mic off.
Yeah, he's gonna just. I mean, obviously, without that spin, I think Owen could actually been potentially on for a podium even, but he's doing very well for what he's had to put up with. So coming into P6, he'll be very happy, I think, with this performance at the end of the race. He's got 8 laps to go, but you know, anything can happen. One thing that could definitely happen is Danny could actually be the winner of this race. He's got the gap down now to 1 second, and he is closing in on Blindervin. He's just a little bit outside of DRS range, but that's not going to be issue, as we see Kurz now trying to overtake Gerler for P10, which he does, and does a very nice job. As Schofield goes into the back of Gerler almost, but he just holds off as he's trying to get past him.
Grease has to look up the inside of Owen actually now, and I think Grease might have made the move stick, as Owen has to slot in behind Grease, and that makes Jozzo. It puts Jozzo right into the mix of this battle, and I think, Owen on the older hard tires compared to these fresher, softer tires is going to be struggling a bit battling them here.
Yeah, he's definitely just struggling a little bit, as we see Jozzo now going to try and get past Owen for P6. So Jozzo has to hold off in the mix. The room definitely wasn't there for him, and that's going to allow Greasy just to get down the road a little bit.
Yeah. I also want to quickly mention Omletto. We haven't really talked about him. He's P4 from starting P6, so he's gained 2 positions, which is nice going of him. Just driving his own race at the moment with 8 seconds behind him and 13 seconds ahead.
Off.
So he's doing all right there in the P4. It's a bit of a lonely race, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's literally nowhere between anyone at the minute. He's 13 seconds behind Ace Boy, and then 7 seconds behind Tide as Gerla picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that's probably not what he wanted. But in terms of Omletto, he's literally got nothing to gain. You see Owen and Jozzo now finally trading places, and Jozzo getting up into P7 from the look of it. However, Owen, he's going to try and fight this back, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. But he's actually coming, he's going to have that DRS. Will he be able to get ahead? No, he's not. He's just a little bit too far back, but now it looks like Jozzo can finally firmly set his sights on Grizu, but as well, Tide in P5 could be coming under a bit of pressure in the next few laps, so it'll be keeping an eye on him. But at the minute, this is the closest battle on track, and well, I don't think it's going to be the last battle on track, to put it lightly.
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat. Dehama says Blindenwinkel might still get a penalty for hitting Ocean Chief. That's if it gets reported. I don't know exactly what happened, so we'll just have to take the chat's word for it. Anyways, so that would put Danny up into P1 if he stays within 5 seconds. Yeah,
he's definitely getting. Well, you know, if as long as he doesn't pick a penalty, and well, even if Blindevind does get a time penalty, because he could just get penalty points, you know, put onto his license.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's going to be in terms of the penalty, but you know, we'll see. As he's currently 1.4 seconds off, 6 laps to go. He's just holding out at the moment for that win, but it'll be interesting to see how Jozzo responds if it is the case.
Oh, as Grieza hits Teld a bit, and Teld gets very sideways but catches it, and Grieza, I think Jozzo now is actually going to get 2 positions as he gets past Grieza, gets DRS open, goes up the inside of Teld, and Jozzo makes up 2 positions in one corner, so that's great racing from him, and Teld goes a bit wide, Grieza goes up the inside. They're still side by side though. I think Teld stays ahead for now. So Jozzo and Grieza slowly but surely just making their way up the field.
Yeah, as we see Tide now going side by side with Grizu into turn 8, and he's gonna be stuck behind him for extra turn.
That's a huge mistake from Teld. Okay, so he locks up his brakes and goes straight on. So a huge mistake from Teld. Picks up a 5-second penalty as well. So that's his race basically over there. Ouch. That's all I can say. But Owen picks up a free P7 because of it. So the silver lining for Owen there. Owen doing pretty well to stay at behind Grieza and Jozzo, considering the tires difference. He's just within DRS, so for now, but Kurz is slowly but surely creeping up behind him as well, so Owen might have to fight a bit at the end of the race.
Yeah, but don't forget, Kurz has got that 3-second time penalty, and
Yeah,
a lot of the guys behind him. But I don't think McLaren lad will be able to take advantage of that because he's currently 3.4 seconds off anyone with a time penalty. But Schofield, not really. So Kurz is pretty
Well,
much.
as we mentioned that, Ocean Chief getting past McLaren lad up into P12 now.
Yeah, and Ocean Chief after that contact with Blindewind up into that position, and very nicely well done by Ocean Chief, as he's now going to look like he's going to try and get on that battle. But ahead, Gerler and Tide are both battling out. As you can see, Gerler going into turn 4 to try and get ahead of Tide, but Tide backs out. But don't forget, these guys battling, time penalties add into that, and well, there's going to be a bit of commotion at the end. But Gerler almost drops it coming out of turn 7, gets in on the inside of turn 6, so he's not going to be, resting that easy for the final few laps. So he's just going to have to edge it across the line.
Yeah, and Danny's now within DRS range of Blindevinkje.
Yeah,
So,
he's actually now 6/10 off him, so Danny does sense that opportunity. But all he's really got to do, he's just got to hold in, just time the move right, because if he makes it too soon, he's going to lose out. If he makes it too much, he's going to do that. But one thing for sure is Danny does not have a lot of EOS, and Blindevinkje does.
Oh, as he picks up a 3-second time penalty, Blindevinkje. So that okay, that basically promotes Danny up into P1 as it stands. But Danny, all he has to do now is just stay behind. As Gerler left the session, might be connection issues.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to interrupt. Jozzo and Grizu are both going side by side into turn 3 and comes out as Grizu now going side by side with Jozzo into turn 4 as Grizu just holds on for now, and Grizu does get past Jozzo and up into P5. So Grizu with a great move. See, every time I mention Grizu, I think of Gengu, but we don't speak we don't speak of Gengu because reasons, and we have a yellow flag, and that's tied down into P14. That's another spin for him, and that's really unfortunate because he was on for a decent points finish, but
it all went so wrong.
Yeah,
the tide has turned for him.
Well, I mentioned Grizu, and the tide did literally turn. So, I mean Gengu. So that's not going to be one, but however, it looks like Danny is actually going to try it and make the move on Blindeving. So that will be interesting to see. Oh, he does make the switchback, very nice indeed. But Blindeving is just going to hold Danny to his position as he goes onto the curb to try and get past him, uses that DRS and does get past him. Very nice move by Danny to take the lead of the race, and we have got 3 laps to go, but obviously Blindevin does have that time penalty, but he might not even hold P2 because Ace Boy is closing that gap down.
Yeah, so brilliant move by Danny. It's always much more satisfying to get the win on track than on time penalties, so I think that's what he's decided to do. Now let's just see if you can extend the gap or at least keep Blindevinkje behind him, or there might be a bit of a battle coming here. But I think Blindevinkje, I've been watching him a little bit the past few laps, and he's been locking up quite a lot. So he might be struggling a bit with tyre degradation as it stands, because Danny suddenly gained quite a lot of pace on him.
Yeah, he's got that little bit of pace on him, and he's doing a very, very nice job to keep him off the back at the moment. But Ace Boy, I can't tell the minute because the Delta's broke. Well done, F1. He is just a little bit too far back at the moment, I think, to challenge. But with this time penalties, it's going to be a little bit of change of order, but not much. But let's see, Danny, please get to the line. I want to see the gap to you and Blindevink, because Ace Boy looks like he could actually take that P2 away from us across the line.
Yeah.
2.9. Ace Boy is actually gonna potentially steal P2 away from Blindevinkje. So Blindevinkje,
very close, but Blindevinkje has to drive pretty consistently now to stay ahead of Ace Boy. And speaking of time penalties, Ocean Chief in P11, only 1 second behind Gerler now, and Gerler has a 3-second time penalty, so Ocean Chief might potentially get that P10.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think anyone could get that P10 in the minute, because there's a massive train behind him. Anyone down to McLaren, I think, could get that final points position, but Ocean Chief is definition of P10. So this is pretty much his battle. He's in his zone. He needs to just get it, but it looks like he's going to have to make a defensive move against Trevor Linden as he does get him into turn 1. So Trevor Linden is actually now the guy who is going to be inheriting that P10. I do feel sorry for Gerler because he did have that disconnect and he couldn't do anything about it, but it looks like he is going to lose out to one of these guys, but who I don't know. Plus we see McLaren lad in the background trying to get past Dominon, and he doesn't. He just has to hold back for now, and well, he is just waiting to go past, but Ocean Chief locking up, going into turn 7 and doesn't get past him, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in the final 2 laps. But this race is very close to call, and I don't even know who's gonna do it because at the minute Owen's actually catching up to Jozzo on 13 lap old hards compared to Jozzo's 8, but the soft tyres must have worn off that much. He's gonna have a chance here of getting P6.
Yeah. Yes, and he's done quite an impressive job actually to stay on the back of these two because they had much fresher tires, and he's still there to fight to the end. So we might see some last lap lunges here. And knowing Owen, he's definitely going to go for it if he gets a chance. So I'm excited to see what the end of the race brings us.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ace Boy's just dropped out that 3-second window to Blindervinky. Or was it Blindervind? I don't know.
I think he's Dutch, so it's Belinda Finkje, but I'm not Dutch, so I can't I can't be 100% sure on that one. But I live here, so I sort of have an idea. I think it's Belinda Finkje.
Yeah, I've known him for ages, but I keep apologies if I keep messing up everyone's name. But he's getting. But Owen actually is now getting right up onto Jozzo's gearbox, and Jozzo gets a bit out of shape, and Owen might actually be able to sense the opportunity in turn 10. Jozzo just cuts him off and goes down the inside. Owen with a very, very nice move on Jozzo and gets a bit snappy out of that turn, but gets it, and Jozzo loses out to Owens, definitely struggling on those tyres. And Jozzo, unlike last week where he got an absolutely commanding first place in Australia, having a very lucky escape, and well, we'll just be grateful to have come home with some points today. But what a great move by Owen. After all he's been through, he's come all the way up into P6. And I think
I just want to I want to quickly mention if there's a highlights of this race, I think the top 3 highlights would be some of Owen's overtakes, because he did that double overtake earlier and he's just done this one now, and he also did a few overtakes at the start of the lap to get up to that P10 position. Start of the race. So he's been having a really good race, all things considered, even with his spin. Has a good fighting spirit in him, and has definitely shown it on track today.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're on the final lap now, and I think it's fair to say Jozzo's tyres have gone because he's just lost out to Kurz. But one thing for sure is Trevor Linden, I think, is going to be the guy who gets that P final points position, because he's just overtaken Gerler, and well, Ocean Chief will not be getting that P10. But I've got Owen's overtake on the replay, and it was very nice. However, we'll see now what happens with the race results. Danny coming up to the finish line now to win this race, and well, he's kept it clean. He got ahead of Ace Boy after Ace Boy made that mistake. Ace Boy looks like he will inherit that P2, and Blindervinky will get that P3. Danny now comes up to the finish line as the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix 2SRL Tier 3 Round 2, and what a race by him. Ace Boy comes up into P2, and that is a very well deserved job. But what could have been if he hadn't lost that time in the pit stops. But let's see what actually happens here. There's an Omletto. Oh my god, Kurz has spun, and Jozzo comes back up to P7. So Jozzo gaining a position just by pure luck, but Grizu doesn't get past to it, and Kurz has lost it again. Ocean Chief's going to get P10. And,
oh my god, it's all happening.
And
I
don't think he's going to get a P10. He might actually get P10.
I think he might, because Kurz and Gerler have time penalties. So Ocean Chief gets past Kurz. Actually, is this going to be a drag race to the line? Ocean Chief might get Gerler before he crosses the line. No, okay, doesn't get him, but he gets him on the time penalty. So Ocean Chief gets that P10. And apparently Kurz has a rear wheel puncture, and that is very unlucky timing. He is 12 laps in on those soft tires though, so...
Yeah, there
They
we
are
go.
dead.
Yeah, I didn't notice he had the puncher, but that explains it. So Kerr's got a puncher, he just pushed it for a little bit too long and loses his points position. That was going to be a bit of a I wonder what state Josso's tyres was in then, because he had 11 lap hole tyres and he was struggling like hell to keep them, in shape. But there you go, that's how long the tyres last. And Ocean Chief sneaking into P10, and he definitely did that in the Ocean Chief fashion, getting that P10 against all odds, and he has done a superb job to actually get that position, so congratulations to him. And I think it's fair to say, driver of the day, F1 has already said it, and I don't think we really need to have a discussion on who's got it, because he's fully deserved it. And well done to Danny, Aceboy and Blintervinky for getting the podium steps, and we will see if we can actually get some of them in for one or two interviews, but we'll quickly just skip to the final race results if it comes up. Danny in P1, Aceboy P2, Blintervinky P3, Omletto pretty much in no man's land for P4, Rizu, Owen P5, P6, Josso, Schofield, Trevor Linden and Ocean Chief rounding out the points. Dominum, McLaren had Gerlach, Kurz and Tidal, and Fropsy the final of the finishers for the race. Right then, let's see if we can just get the interview screen up. I'm just going to exit. What a race.
That was a really good race actually, with a crazy start and a very exciting ending with a lot of battles in between. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is then, because we did say about Owen's overtake, and I think after that he'll want to potentially have a look at it. I'm just going to get his move that he made on cuts him off, and it goes down the inside. Owen did with a very nice move on Josso, and gets a bit snap. Very nice move and deserved drive from P6 after qualifying. He got what he needed, so well done to Ocean Chief. I mean.
Well done to Ocean Chief, yes, but
Owen. Well, he has got it, but right then, let's see who we can drag in for more.
Let's drag in Danny first.
Yeah, right then, let's drag him in. So, are you there, Mr. Danny Boy?
I am.
Right then, congratulations on the win. Obviously, Blindervinky got that 3-second time penalty, but just want to take you through how you got into that position and what was going through your head when you saw Blindervinky get that time penalty. Like, did you know, or what was the plan overall?
It was a good quali. Started in P4. Had a decent-ish start. I went up to P3, then fell back into P4 again. I just maintained a gap into the top 3, and then I think Jozo spun or lost it on downhill, and I saw his arrow behind me, and then I saw it gone. I was like, where's he gone? He was gone. Then I have a feeling Aceboy got wing damage, because when I came back out, he was back down. I don't know, he was behind me somewhere in traffic, but he was ahead of me before I pit, and then I just maintained a gap, and then I think Blinda got wing damage from Chiefs, or he hit him, in my opinion. But yeah, when I saw when he got the 3-second penalty, because I was right up behind him and he ran a bit wide, and I was thinking to myself, I had the lads telling me to try and push a little bit, but not push too hard, that I wanted to keep not make anything stupid. Then I saw the 3-second penalty. I was like, I don't have to push anymore. I can just relax, maintain a gap. Managed to get past him. Managed to maintain a gap to actually win on track.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It must have been. So, yeah, it's a great, brilliant win. Commanding drive, especially from P4. You made the best of the situations around you, and that's what you got to do to win. And how satisfying is it to win on track and not to time penalties?
Oh, it's actually satisfying. Because, you know that you are that first car to cross the line, instead of being second or third and people in front of you have passed the line before you, but they get demoted through penalties. It's just a good feeling to know that you are that car to finish in first.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it P2 last race, or was it P3? I can't remember.
P3.
P3. Okay, so P3 and P1 in the first two races. really good driving in both. Do you think you can keep this momentum up?
Hopefully, I can try. Good thing Vietnam's not here, I'd say. So we're straight into whatever's next. China, I think. I've
Yeah,
lost track of what.
I don't know what's
Right.
next either, but something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I
It
find
is.
Canada. I find China is a strong track for me.
I find it to literally have no grip whatsoever, but yeah, I mean, hopefully you can carry on over that next week, and congratulations on the win. Right then,
Thank
we
you.
will drag.
Let's drag Owen in.
Right then, and Mr. Owen, if he's there.
Hello.
Hello, and I was going to say congratulations to driver of the day already, from P19 on the grid to P6. What actually happened in qualifying? Because Kimmy did say you forced feedback. When was that the case?
I have a clip in tier 3, but obviously the stream can't see it. Pretty much, I'll go on to the big straight, or the mini straight even. I spun because my force feedback turned off halfway through the turn, and I touched one of those Lego bricks. So I'm stopped on the track. But when you watch the clip, you'll understand. It looks like my wing was just glitched in the Lego brick. So my car started shaking, and then the wheel had just come off. So yeah, it just put me in last, which wasn't great.
Yeah, but you definitely made up for it in the race. Brilliant opening few laps. You made it up, I think, to P10 or something. You've fought, and then you had a big moment, a pretty big spin, fell down the order, and then you fought your way back all the way up to P6. So it was quite entertaining to see you drive this race.
I should have finished in the top 4 minimal. That second, so the first lap I got to P12 in 2 turns, and then the safety car, or the first safety car, blah blah blah. And then the lap where I spun, I was going around the turn and my force feedback turns off, so I'm going from fighting the feedback to none. I throw my car to the left and spin. And then yeah, it was just head down from there. And then got caught up with one of the McLarens. It was a bit of a weird one. I don't think I got given any space, so I got spun out again. And it was just, fighting upwards from there. But it should have been like P4, P3. It's just, the last 2 races haven't been there. The start I kind of wanted.
I mean,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was going to say there's a long way still to go in the season, but you got some decent points on the board today, so as long as you can start building from there, I think you can definitely get into a very good position, because you proved that last season. So I think you can do it again this season.
I hope so. I mean, to have a race like that where I gained so many positions back after my second race on no TC, it was definitely a confidence boost. But we'll just see what we can do, and as long as Ace Boy keeps pulling the team along, then I'll do my best.
Yeah, I mean, you had some, I think, I mentioned in the stream, you had some brilliant overtakes. So I said, like, the top 3 highlights would be one of your overtakes. So the 2 I remember specifically was the double overtake you made on, was it Schofield and Gerla, I believe, and then the other overtake you did at the very end on Jozzo. So very aggressive but brilliant driving from you today.
Thank you.
Right then, we've got time for one more. Let's see. Because I think Ace Boy is in chat, so let's drag him in. And there we go. Hello there, Ace Boy. Right then, I know P2 on penalties, but I think you could have got P1. What actually happened during that pit stop when you were battling Blindevin? Because you seemed to lose like a load of time during that stint, and it seemed to have cost you the win. What actually happened then?
Yeah, just right before the end lap, or the lap I was going to pit, at I think turn 14 or so, we eventually spun, or I did. I felt like he did not leave enough space. Gonna review the footage. After that, tried to come back on the hards, but Kurz and Grizo just did not leave any space whatsoever, and eventually I got wing damage from them as well. So had no way of catching up. I tried a few times, but didn't work out. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, because you did have a lot of good pace, but in the end, I mean, you still got P2. I know it's not the win, but you did very well to get it in the end, and I was going to say, well done for getting that. And, that's 2 P2s in a row now. I think that actually puts you in the lead of the championship, so I know there's
Not quite exactly.
How
Danny's ahead.
Yeah, Danny's got a P3 and a P1, so I think that puts him just about P1 in the championship for now.
I
Yep.
will actually I'll do the calculations. I think you are right, but I will check. So yeah, you are right. Danny is ahead in the championship by 4 points. So my mistake, but there you go. You got P2. You got P2 across the board, every race, and in the championship. So there you go. All right then.
Yep. Thanks.
Right, I think that will round it up for us then. I think we'll be back next week for China again. We'll see if we might actually get a different winner, but will Danny be able to keep up his consistency? Will Jozo be able to keep himself in the fight for this championship? He did pick up the points today, but not really what he needed. But anyway, we'll see you then for round 3, and take care till then. We're back tomorrow with SLR Tier 4 at 7 o'clock CET. Sorry, I'm just getting the time zones mixed up. And then for the rest of the week, we've got action every day. So we'll see you then, and good night.
Goodbye.